I'm about to react to what's it called? 9 to 5 workers versus streamers. It's about to be crazy.
How are you gonna disrespect your mom like that,
she
dude?
is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your job isn't dangerous. You would have to.
Okay, before we get started though, I'm on the side of streamers at the beginning. I don't know. I think I'm on the side of streamers right now. But I need to watch the video to see. Like, because I might change my mind. I don't know. Let's see.
You actually have to go to work.
And
Went to school, and still.
And paid rent?
Yes, I still worked.
That's your choice.
You're high. You're hungover.
You guys are playing video games. I play video games on my spare
I
time.
don't even enjoy streaming anymore.
Okay.
What's up? How's it going?
Same old different day.
Okay. All right. So my argument here is that streaming and social media creation is harder than a 9 to 5.
Nah, it's not facts, bro. 9 to 5 is way harder, homie.
Why do you say that?
Because you gotta get up every motherfucking day, go to the motherfucking bullshit job, and slave for fucking pennies.
See, that's
You gotta do the same thing for streaming, no? Like some people have streaming schedules. Like they wake up early. They wake up early in the morning and they do the same thing. Like Nick 830 does the same thing, right? Nick 830 gets up early and he streams until like late at night. So you can't really make that argument as a 9 to 5 worker, you know? It's like the same thing.
the thing. Is you're right. You get up every day. You go through the.
Producers, this plugin helps you finish your tracks way faster. Check this
My
out.
God.
I'm gonna start with this loop that I made
Hate these
here.
ads.
Emotions. You don't have to get a good night's sleep. You don't have to be focused. You don't have to be locked in. You wake up. You go. You flip some patties.
Nah.
Maybe you sign a few envelopes. Answer a few phone calls. With streaming and social media creation, you have to be on your game 24/7. It's like a switch that never
when you're a
turns
mail
off.
carrier, I'm a mail carrier, and I'm gonna tell you something, man. I get treated like shit every motherfucking day.
We
I'm
have to
still
deal with
slaving
thousands,
every day.
tens of thousands of
Bullshit.
people critiquing every little thing we do, every
Man.
decision we make, every thought we
You
have.
guys got it made, man. I wish I had it made like y'all.
We don't have to sign a few envelopes and put them in a mailbox.
Man,
we
you
have
got
to
it
be,
gravy, bro.
What's the next trend?
Because
What's the
the
next
shit I
idea?
go through every
Oh my
day,
God, I have to stream.
I feel like streamers have to be way more creative than like 9 to 5ers. Because 9 to 5ers, all they have to do is to go in and do the same exact thing they've been doing for their entire time that they've been there. But for streamers, they have to keep making ideas, keep being creative. How can I attract viewers and not make it so boring to where my viewers won't watch, you know? Streamers make more for less work.
Bite my ass
And you have lunch
Maybe
breaks. You have
sometimes.
lunch breaks. We don't have breaks. We're on 24/7.
You got
high energy, 24/7.
I wish I could be at home like you and get back and get paid
I don't
big
even.
money.
We're not even at home. We're walking around.
Man,
We're walking
I
around
wanna
doing
do
things,
all of
going
that
to
because
parties, doing
the
all this
shit,
stuff.
I gotta slave just for not even $100,000
right.
a year. I gotta work double overtime. Bullshit.
Okay, what about this? You're guaranteed to get paid. You have a
No, I'm not.
steady
Fact.
rate.
You're
not guaranteed?
If I don't work, I don't get paid. It's simple as that.
Yeah, but you have
That's with every job. If you don't work, you're not getting paid. That's the same thing. But with streamers, with 9 to 5ers, you get a guaranteed pay for 9 to 5ers. You're guaranteed a pay unless you get fired. But with streamers, if you don't have like a lot of viewers, if you're not bringing in the viewers, you're not guaranteed the same pay every single stream. Like, you're not guaranteed more money every single stream, or you're not guaranteed the same money. You could get less because of the streamer, like the viewers that you're drawing in. I guess it just depends, you know.
Guaranteed pay if you
No,
work.
I
That's
don't.
your decision if you don't want
I
to work.
gotta work at the job for
If
years.
I don't go live, I don't get
just
paid
to
either.
accumulate.
We don't got to deal with people spamming L's.
Yes, we have
Huh?
people in the chat spamming L's. Oh, this is bullshit. We don't like this video. We have to create.
These are the wrong streamers to bring in, bro. I promise you, they're so dumb. You gotta deal with people spamming L's. That's a horrible argument.
Imagine you have to be high energy. Oh, hey guys, how's it going? You guys like this stream?
That's me 24/7. I'd rather do that.
So why don't you become a streamer?
Man, that's what I want to do. F that. F this 9 to 5 shit.
If streaming is so easy, How come every single person in this seat is not a streamer?
People are lazy. They want to put in the work.
That's their fault.
Wait, didn't he just prove his point though? People are lazy and they don't want to do the work, so which means it's harder to do streaming than a 9 to 5 because you're not lazy enough to go get a 9 to 5, but you're too lazy to get a streaming job. So which means it's harder to do streaming than 9 to 5 in your opinion. Isn't that what he just said? The thing with streaming is you're a target for bad people, like swatting. Yeah, that's true. That's what I was thinking earlier. I was like, that's crazy because like people when people don't agree with what streamers say, like they get so mad to the point where like they swat them, or some people even try to like kill them sometimes. Like even with celebrities as well. So
I get
don't
called fat all the time.
Oh, so what? I get called fat, chubby.
Fat.
All my homeboys call me chubby, fat,
Well,
whatever.
That's your homeboys, though. I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's a homeboy.
That's true. It could happen to
Yeah,
anyone.
you right, homeboy. You right. But check this out, my nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna go out there and get that bag.
I think she's got something she wants to say.
Oh my gosh, wait, we're seeing flags.
Unfortunately, these flags are actually useless. We decided to use a timer instead because we suck at explaining things.
9 to 5s are
Raise your
physically more
flag,
demanding.
Sarah.
I feel like
Yeah, because
I feel like streaming is mentally more demanding than 9 to 5s. So like mentally streaming is harder. Physically, it's not. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Actually a cook for 15 years. So that means for 15 years I had to get up practically every day, get dressed, go to work, and I had to deal with not only
That's the same thing with streaming.
adults, but I also had to deal with children.
We deal with children every day.
We deal with tens of thousands of children and adults.
The Lacey Thugs are. Do you not know who the Lacey Thugs are?
I can't go out in public without 10 kids coming up asking for a picture. You know how hard that is of a life?
Isn't that
That is
special?
difficult.
How long do you think this is going to last?
Forever.
Forever,
You think this
hopefully.
is going to last forever?
I hope so. You just proved my point for me. I don't have that security that's gonna last forever. Having a job, being
That's
a
why
cook,
you gotta
you
grind.
have
Yeah.
that security of, oh, I have a job, I have a degree, I have this. This could end for me tomorrow.
Hypothetically, if you
true.
said, if you all of a sudden, you
But it
lost
could
all-
also end for a 9 to 5er. Like easily. I mean, if you get fired. I mean, no, actually that's not true because if you get fired from 9 to 5, you can just get another job. I don't know.
all your followers, what would you do?
I know what he'll do. Get up.
No, I'm asking
Trigger
him.
warning.
I'm asking him. What would you
Job.
do if you lost completely all your YouTubers? You had nothing. No one watched you anymore. I didn't even watch you anymore. What would you have to do? You would have to actually have to go to
True.
work.
I'm not saying true to
I'm saying you.
That's a slur. If I did lose all my followers,
You ever have a clip you just want to share with your friends? You can't go back in the game and the replay's gone forever. Outplayed has one.
I would probably buy a couple houses and start my real estate empire.
Okay, so then you would have to actually go to work. You would actually have to go to the office.
And I would think that would be a much easier job than streaming.
You gotta go into your setup though and sit in front of studio lights and read the chat and be interactive.
But no, he lost everybody. He lost every.
So like it depends on the 9 to 5 you work at, bro. Because some 9 to 5ers they don't have to interact with anyone. They pretty much just sign papers and they're good. But it just depends on the 9 to 5 you're at. Like if you're at a 9 to 5 where you're constantly like talking to people, it's basically like streaming. You're constantly talking to people, interacting with people, and yeah, it can be physically and mentally draining for some 9 to 5s. But for different 9 to 5s, it's definitely easier than a streaming job.
Everybody. He has no followers whatsoever.
You're-
He would
you're-
have to turn
yeah, but
around.
You're proving my point.
You would have
You're
to
proving
turn
my
around.
point. You're proving my point on why this is harder because I could lose it all
Yeah,
tomorrow.
but you could lose it tomorrow.
If let's say you're a cook, right? Let's say you got fired. You have hundreds of people lined up. You can go cook over here, cook over there.
You could be a private chef.
You could be a private chef. Exactly. I don't have that security.
I was a cook in the school system. I cooked all frozen food.
But you still cook.
You still cook. You go cook for another school.
I think I saw a flag right here.
Flags. I see red flags.
I'm gonna have to backlight. Yo, Lacey, this is the truth.
I think something you guys aren't taking into account. Say we get a brand deal, I gotta post on an Instagram story. I gotta go find the 4 Loco cans. I gotta make sure I get the 4 Loco can. And
Not to mention,
You have to do work. That's what we have to do.
it ruins our Twitter impressions too.
I gotta tag them.
And then that goes into falling off.
My name is Rhonda. I'm a registered nurse from the South.
Nice to meet you,
From
Rhonda.
Give it up for Rhonda,
35
guys.
years ago, I decided to go to nursing school because I wanted to be a creative, I thought. I loved fashion, I loved acting, I loved singing. But in the South, whole lot of racism. Back in the 60s and the 50s, people didn't give a rat's ass if you created something, and they wouldn't support your business. So yes, a 9 to 5 is much harder. I had to work.
She's thinking back to 1970s right now, bro. That's horrible argument. Like, yes, we still deal with like racism now, but it's definitely way less than back then. So that's not really a good argument either. Streamers are mostly set for life before they fall off. I mean some streamers like streamers that are really big probably, but not like all streamers. I feel like it's not most streamers. Not most streamers are set for life before they fall off. The money makes streaming mentally easier. I can see that.
Work 7 to 3, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I had to support my daughter.
Rhonda,
you get spoiled.
Rhonda, can I ask you a question?
Nope.
Have you ever done
You
it?
get spoiled. You get spoiled, and your mama and daddy keep giving it to you.
Rhonda,
Because
guys, I got a
did
question for Rhonda. I got a
did
question
it.
for Rhonda. Rhonda,
Yes.
have you ever done a subathon?
What's a subathon?
30 days straight,
24
hours a day.
day and night. No break.
We all streamed.
That ain't even healthy.
You're talking about working 7 to 3. You have 2 30-minute breaks throughout.
That's
you get
true.
to go home
All
afterwards,
people in this
see your family,
mindset.
relax. We were on camera 30 days straight, no personal.
What
You know how
day
hard
were
it is
you a registered
to
nurse?
have.
When did you get a break? You clean boo-boo?
When have you ran a
Actually, I
30-minute
don't think
ad?
Silky's
When
set.
have you ever ran? You never ran a
You
Silky's not that big to be
ashtray,
set for
you
life.
short-handed. You
Talk
don't
about the fake
outlook.
relationships that you have.
Oh my God.
Now
It's fake
think
on
about
social
this.
media.
Think about this. Imagine
Sure.
every little person. We call them parasocials. They judge your
Parasocials.
relationships. You can't go out to dinner or have a girl take a picture in your car without them finding out and
I
judging
got
you.
caught with
based
my
on it.
ex
I
in
got caught with
public.
my ex, and I got treated like I was a pedophile for it.
But mental health. When you stop caring
That's
about
just
what
genuinely
people
doing
think
bad things.
and what they say about you, do you. And that's a big problem with younger people. You care about what people think, social media, what they say about
Because
you.
that's our
job.
You said you're a nurse, right?
35 years.
What do you think's harder? 24-hour open surgery, like when you're helping with, the doctor, et cetera, or 24-hour stream?
24-hour open surgery.
Oh,
You
brother.
short-handed.
We're saving thousands. You're saving.
I have to disagree. Oh no, not. Whoa, hold on. No, 24-hour surgery is definitely harder than a 24-hour stream, but it's still a horrible point. That's still a horrible point. Yeah, surgery way harder, but it's still a horrible point though.
Saving one.
Cause surgery, 24-hour surgery, it hits you mentally and physically, bro. Like a lot.
All right, so you said 30-day subathon, right?
Yep.
I'm
My
pretty
argument
sure
is
I've
that
seen this
you
kid on
guys, None of
YouTube.
you guys actually did any of the work during that, and it was all your filmers,
Is
your
he part of the
editors,
face team?
your producers. All these people back here are the ones doing the work. You guys just show up and have fun.
They didn't do anything.
It's a group project.
No, because here's the thing.
Well, that's bad takes.
That's bad takes. That's bad takes. That's bad takes.
Go.
They wouldn't have any work
True.
if it wasn't for us, though.
That's true. Why did ad right there, bro? But that is true. They're editors, they're filmers, they're everything. They would not have any work if it wasn't for them. Like, it wasn't for streamers and, like, anyone like that, like YouTubers at all. They wouldn't have any work. Yeah, that is true, but, like, they still have to come up with the ideas, because if it's not them, then they're not actually the streamer. They're just doing, like, they're just going off of what other people say. They hire people to edit and record for them, but they are mentally coming up with the ideas, interacting with everyone on the stream, and all that. They have people for that too, but it's mostly them. Most of the time, it's probably them.
I would even go as far to say as every person in this room, we keep them employed as well. Because here's the thing, we get sponsors from these companies that have 9-to-5s, right? These companies, hold on. These companies are not viable without influencers to push the brand and keep them in business.
Have you ever worked a real job?
No.
So how would you
See,
know?
I have worked a real job.
What was your real job?
I worked 8 months. I worked a double. I worked Walmart and Panera at the same time for a year.
Why is she laughing? Bro, she's making me mad.
Why is she
I
laughing?
actually feel like they're wrong.
Hi, I'm Chris.
All right, Chris.
Why do you think a 9-to-5 job is not harder than what you do?
Well, you're guaranteed to pay.
Guaranteed to pay.
Yeah.
And that makes
Okay.
it harder?
Yeah.
It
No, it makes
does.
it easier for you.
Makes
guys.
it easier
makes it
because
easier,
we have a
yeah.
guaranteed pay.
100%.
Makes
Security.
it easier
Talk about
for
raises.
Makes it easier for 9-to-5 people to have a job because their pay is
Yeah,
guaranteed.
when you go to work every day, everyone's
So you're
like,
basing the ease of a job just on somebody getting paid regularly? Is that what you...
well, let's just say that comes to perspective. If you say someone who works food, if you're someone who works a doctor, it's obviously different. But if you're talking abroad, 9-to-5, someone who doesn't need a degree, yeah, it's way easier than being a streamer.
How so?
Well, it's because you're guaranteed and you don't need any crazy knowledge. You don't need to go to school for most jobs, like certain things like a 9-to-5. If you wanted to go work at Foot Locker, I could go to Foot Locker, apply.
That is very true.
And then next thing you know, I'm selling
Ron
shoes
does
for
make more than probably
pay every single hour.
Every 9-to-5 worker.
So according
combined,
to you,
though.
a job is easier or harder based on the guaranteed pay. That's one aspect of it.
Working
right?
at Foot Locker.
I feel like streamers have to go with the worry of if my content isn't good enough, then I'm not making as much as I thought I was gonna make. But with 9-to-5ers, you're guaranteed the same amount of pay every single week when you get your paycheck, unless you work overtime, which you're making more. So it's the same thing.
Working at a job
Or
like
unless you're sick.
Panera, or
If
wherever
you're
Lacey
sick and
is,
you don't work
is
that
easier
day.
than a streamer. Yes, because a streamer you have to come up with ideas. You have to stay relevant.
We're talking about ideas now. Okay,
Yeah,
we're talking about pay.
Okay, so what do you want to
that's
start with
one
though?
way that
But it
it's
doesn't
easier.
make. But
Well,
you're not
you started
even.
with
You're not
pay.
even. You keep switching it. So why don't
I'm
you
not
answer my
switching
question?
anything.
You know, you 100% are.
Yeah.
So how is it harder if you're guaranteed to pay? I worked for 4 years of streaming. I didn't make $1.
Well, what's your definition of hard? That's the thing. It's like what
Stuff
is
that
difficult.
you need creativity. You need to get out of your circle, comfort
Sure.
zone.
Yeah.
You need to be able to actually make people believe what you believe in the sense of like, oh, this is good content. Do you watch any TV shows?
I watch YouTube.
Okay, you watch
so
YouTube.
much YouTube.
So it's the same thing. So the people that
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
entertained by are the people like us, just for a different audience.
That's true. But you're talking about entertainment as a job. We could talk about entertainment.
This is entertainment,
as a job.
but this
yeah,
is entertainment.
Entertainment
But
as
my
a
question
job
to you
doesn't have
is
any
why?
guarantees. Absolutely.
So do you truthfully you can sit here and think that working at like a Foot Locker or something like that? I'm just using that because that's the best
Sure.
example.
Yeah, yeah.
Is harder than a streamer?
It depends on what you are saying the word hard means to you. Because
In the
there's
sense
hard
of everyday
physically,
activity, because
there's
some
hard-
people around here said, "Oh, I got to wake up at 7 a.m., 8 a.m." Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, we have to do the same thing.
Sure.
Some people do that.
And you deal with yourself.
No, we deal with millions
when
of people.
you're creating that content.
I bet one of the 9-to-5 workers are gonna say that you guys didn't have to work up to all of this. Like you didn't have to put in as much as work as a 9-to-5er to get up to where they are. But the thing is, streamers, they don't make a penny for at least like 2 years of streaming. Like they have to stream and constantly stream and upload YouTube videos to like 0 viewers every single day for years to get up to the people where they actually like bring in viewers and they actually make money at that point. Like they don't make money for years, but then they start making money and then you guys think it's easier because now they're making money off of just viewers. But they actually had to work up to that for years to actually get the money.
And you have your phone.
Okay.
You're dealing with you and yourself in that phone.
Okay, so what happens?
You're not dealing with
Not true.
workers and you're not
That's not
dealing
true at
with-
all. I have an
Okay.
editor that I pay who relies on me. If I stop doing
Which
any
is
type
later.
of content, he loses
So when
a job.
you go to your
That's
job,
true.
when you go to work, rather than punching a card, you pick up your phone or you turn on a camera.
Okay, so when you punch the card, let's say, who's above you? Your boss, right? What happens if he just takes the business and he says, oh, we're not doing it anymore? You lose your job.
If the work
More
is
important to the
picking
economy.
up a phone or turning on the camera as
That's
opposed
true.
to going in with a bunch of people and having to multitask tasks you have to do throughout your shift and deal with your
Tasks you gotta do
coworkers
throughout
and
the stream.
interpersonal thing. Tell me how much you do of that stuff while you are actually doing your job for however many number of hours that you are talking.
We were prepped and ready for the heist. We had stolen tier 7 packs.
And typing and shitting.
9 to 5 is better for the economy though, so if like they stop working, we do lose a lot of things that we need in life. That is a very good argument. I really can't really say anything to argue against that, so that's a very good argument. But I don't think it makes it harder, you know? Like, because as a 9 to 5er, if you like leave your job and you go to streaming and stuff, like you're not gonna carry that weight of, oh, I left my job, so I'm hurting the economy, because you already know someone's gonna come back and do the 9 to 5 and replace you. So I feel like this video is more of not for the economy, but for making their job like, well, how do you word that? It's like making their job how much they make, like in money, so it's like how it benefits them and not the economy. And like you can say that no. Yeah, that was a good point.
And all that stuff that everybody's watching you do.
Go ahead.
No, but there's actually a mental aspect.
I understand that, yeah.
No. Let me hear me out.
Go ahead.
Camaraderie. Like you have like a group of people, like friendships, relationships, which is the most important thing in life. So do you build that with your coworkers and stuff like that?
Sorry, bye. See you later.
Seeing a lot of flags.
What's up, AO Wisdom?
What's your name?
So I'm Angelina, and I work as an executive assistant.
You're right. You're right. She's right. Hang on. She's right. She's right. I'm not gonna lie. She's right. 9 to 5. I'm really good though. We good.
All right, so you guys were talking about the mental aspect, and I thought that was really interesting because as someone who works a 9 to 5, technically it's a 10 to 6, but I still have to clock in a certain amount of time. I come home, I'm too tired to cook. Fortunately, I have a beautiful girlfriend that does all of that stuff for me when I get home. But if I didn't, I would have to cook for myself and get to bed in time and wake up in time to commute back to my job. You guys talk about how it's hard because there's a mental aspect. And I understand as someone who's been on social media a lot that you get
How long
berated.
have you been on social media? Just to get broad.
So I actually did content creation starting at the age of 14. When I moved to LA, I gained like 10,000 followers off the bat, and I was very young, and I started working with different brands.
Okay.
I totally understand the mental aspect. It's just that you guys can afford to say, hey, I'm gonna go wherever for 2 weeks, and that can be content, that can be your job, and you actually get to relax and travel the world and have other opportunities.
That's what people think too. Like sometimes that's the case, but when 9 to 5ers they go travel and they're streaming while they travel, I don't think they're relaxing. Like half the time, I don't think they're relaxing. Half the time, I think they're trying to entertain their viewers, you know? Like sometimes it could be relaxing, yeah, but like 9 to 5ers have vacation days as well. Like they can go vacation. Yes, streamers can go whenever they want to because they don't have like a specific schedule, but I feel like not all vacations for streamers is for themselves. It's a lot for their viewers as well. Streamers run on their own schedule, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like streamers don't have they don't have assigned break days, they don't have assigned days where they have to stream, which is a very good argument.
You're just saying a lot of
There's no relaxation.
It's like an answer.
I don't know if I'm still on streamer
So you're
side,
saying
but-
like to go back to the beginning, you were saying like you can manage like
know.
your time with like relationship. Was that correct? Like you have your girlfriend when you go home. Like
I fortunately have a support system, but I every day like ask myself how I would
so
have
I'll
been
give you
able
a
to do it
perfect
without.
example. So you said 14 you started. I started at 16. For about 3 years, I was making money, and it slowly went super up, and then all of a sudden it went down. Right?
Yeah.
I lost everything, fell off
He was about to
completely.
yourself.
About to myself. Real story. This is a real story. This isn't a joke. Why you smiling?
We've all been there. Every 9 to 5 worker has been there.
So
That's
going
why.
back to what you said, how you have a
Wait, what? She said every 9 to 5 worker has wanted to kill themselves. Buzz, all right. I don't think so, because some 9-to-5 workers actually like their job. Because if you like your job as a 9-to-5 worker, then it makes it easier. All these people probably don't even like their 9-to-5, bro. That's why they're here. Like, if you wanted to, find a 9-to-5 that you like. Maybe if you find a 9-to-5 that you like, maybe you'll love it and you actually like being there. Like how streamers, yes, it's hard to be a streamer, but they like doing their job. So they like streaming. That's why it's easier for them to do it, because they like doing it.
Support system. I moved across the country from my parents at the age of 19, lived alone in an apartment, was paying a certain amount of money every single month, and I was losing money. I wasn't making enough money to pay my like I had money in my bank for my rent, but I wasn't making more than my
You were living paycheck to paycheck.
rent.
Yeah.
So I was
You
losing.
were in the red every month.
Yeah.
Let's go.
I was in the red every single month. Girlfriend broke up with me at the time, so alone across the country. So it's like when you're alone too and everything's going down, where's my support system?
I don't like why she's laughing, bro.
So I have a question. You said that for the first 4 years you started
This lady in the back, don't stop laughing, bro. I promise you, bro. I'll smack her upside the head, bro.
streaming. You had no income. How are you able to survive?
I lived with my mom. I was 16.
So that to a certain extent is privilege.
That's privilege?
It is.
But my mom, how's that privilege?
It's privilege because you have the support system to have a place to live.
Well, at 15, 16, I would hope I have parents that would live with me.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't, and they have to
What
take
is that?
9
That's
to
a whole
5s.
different discussion. So a lot of people don't.
That is
have
a whole
help.
different discussion, because not all 9-to-5 workers don't have parents and privilege. But like most probably do. It could be the same with streamers as well. This is a horrible argument.
This is
A lot of
when they
people
working
don't
9 to
have
5s?
families that support them or accept
But that's a
them.
whole different conversation.
Streamers
That
as
wasn't
well.
doing the
It
9
could
to
be with
5.
any
because
person.
they still need to survive. So the fact that you were given
So
the
how did you move to
opportunity-
LA?
I moved across the country as well with my mom when I was 15 years old.
Do you not think that's privileged?
I mean, we moved into a 1-bedroom in Santa Monica and shared a trundle bed, so.
I was reselling shoes to afford my mom's mortgage and everything.
I get it. I've definitely helped my family out in times where I was able to, but I also had to have my family support me in order for me to have certain opportunities to make money in the first place. So if you didn't have content creation, what would you be doing?
It's a great question. I don't know, because I didn't set my goals that way. I set up my life to that. I know I would do what I want to do. If we all got paid the same every single month, let's say just in simple terms, we all got paid $100,000 a month, a crazy amount of money. Would you guys still, truthfully, I'm asking a serious question, would you guys say that all of our jobs are harder than each other, truthfully?
Yeah, if she was a nurse, she had to go to medical school for years just to be able to have her
But
foot
she
in the
knew
door.
that she was getting security because she was going to be a nurse, correct?
Not secure.
How is it not
not.
secure if you knew what you were going to do?
Nothing's secure.
Nothing's secure. You just proved my point. But you just proved my point.
No job is secure, but content creation gives you the ability to have those savings, to have an audience. And even if you do lose all your followers one day,
Yeah.
even if
Let's
you
say I
lose,
lost it all tomorrow.
you still have residuals of your previous viral
But that's-
videos. Even if people are hating on you and
that's not
shitting on you,
necessarily-
that's still adding to what goes into your pocket.
There's literally doctors who do one surgery and make hundreds of $1,000s.
Because they were trained for decades and they had to go to
So
school.
were we.
You went to school to be a content creator?
Streamer University. I knew it. I knew it, bro. Oh my gosh. Just keep going, bro. Yo, I can't, bro.
How you doing, bro?
Just adapt.
Alex.
Gabe.
Gabe, how we doing?
I'm doing good.
Yeah,
So first of all, I want to say I do respect all of
I
you.
only know like 4 of these streamers, bro. I know Silky, Jason, Ron, Lacey, wherever he went, and then I think that's Adapt. I don't even know.
For what you do, I mean, you guys do work, but you do not work as hard as people who have a regular job. You don't know that. I mean, that I do know it.
Right now, I think it's equal. I think it's the same. I feel like 9-to-5s are literally the same as streaming. This is the best one. All right,
For
let's
sure,
see.
it's very
Oh my
clear. People
gosh.
have to wake up and do their routine over and over again. It's not a daily thing, it's a weekly thing, it's a monthly thing, it's a yearly thing, it's a life thing. And if they screw up, they lose their jobs. And they always have to be careful.
If you screw up in streaming, you can lose your job.
Because if they do something weird, they say something weird to their coworker, their boss, they're going to lose their job. If you lose some followers because of something you say, you'll get other followers. And you have a large following enough where there's enough of a range of perspectives that people will always be on board for you as long as you're producing content. People who screw up at their jobs and lose their jobs, and maybe there's a recession, there's not a lot of jobs, as could be now, they get potentially homeless or worse.
You ever heard of cancel culture?
What's that? Yeah, of course I've heard of it. But how many people have been canceled and came back? I mean, it happens all the time. Your boss is not going to be loyal to you if you don't get that thing in on time 5 times.
Okay, but check it
you're
out.
Done.
Okay, so listen, but to be able to get that loyal following of people that do follow you, you need to build that over years and years and years and hours of trust and communication and intimate relationships with your audience.
Okay, so
that's not something that's just given to you. You don't just fall.
Yeah, a lot of these workers think that streaming is literally just given to you. Like you can click a button, start streaming, and you're automatically famous.
1 million subscribers, 2
Of
million
course
subscribers,
not.
3 million
Of course
subscribers.
not. It takes work for sure. But like what you guys are talking about in terms of like the toll it takes on you, a large part of it, and let me tell you something, I'm a little older than you guys, so a large part of it is just general angst from being young, and you just happen to have a camera in front of you and like talking to people or whatever, but at the same time, like you're doing exactly what most people are doing, which is dealing with life stuff, and that's normal. Like the mental...
That's why I said that 9 to 5 is equal to streaming. Like it's like the same thing to me. Right now, I think it's the same. Like it's equal. Like they're equal.
Toll that it takes dealing with people and getting.
We was about to resubscribe to, but why?
Like streaming has its benefits. Streaming has its benefits, but also working a 9 to 5 has its benefits. That's why I think it's equal.
That's what everybody deals with. But you don't have to wake up at 6 a.m. and get to your job and then be there and like be on the whole time.
Some big streamers have to work up at 6. Like I feel like these guys think that streamers have their yes, sometimes streamers have their own like schedule, but sometimes streamers choose to wake up at 6 in the morning and stream for super long so they can get money, so they can get more money. Like it's the same thing with 9 to 5ers and stuff. And you can find a 9 to 5 where you don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and go to your job. Like it doesn't have to be a 9 to 5 job. It could be the same amount of time, but you can wake up later.
No matter what, anyone who has a 9 to 5 has to do that.
I said, what do you do?
Well, I'm a college professor, so I have to do that same
so
sort
you
of.
just gotta come in and teach the same shit for the next 10, 15 years?
Yes, you're right.
Come on, bro.
You
already know what you're doing.
We have to produce new shit every day.
For me in particular, to Silky's point, you're a college professor, so you're essentially reteaching the same curriculum to the same students.
That I had to take years to learn, but
you know
yes.
what I'm saying? But I started making content when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
It started.
We had to take years to actually get our viewers and followers, bro. Like he's thinking that I had to take years to learn this subject so I could teach it to other people. We had to take years to gain our followers, and we had to take years to think of ideas and how to make sure we're keeping our followers interested so they don't leave and they don't unsubscribe and they don't stop listening to us. You know.
Out playing Call of Duty trick shotting. I don't think anybody in this room could hit a crane shot. I don't know if anyone in this room could quick scope.
I don't know if that's something to be proud of, but okay.
So I had to do that for 4 years,
Okay.
right? And then I'm like, okay. Then I had to do YouTube for 4 years,
Okay.
right?
All right.
And then I had to do FaZe Clan, build FaZe Clan out, fix FaZe Clan, and then do streaming.
Okay.
So
with how many people helping you?
How many people helping me?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Sometimes there's no one.
All of them. There were a lot. You had a team.
When I was
Was it just you?
No. It was just me.
Sometimes it's just
It wasn't
you.
built on the shoulders of anyone?
There's receipts on YouTube of me.
Okay, well, where did YouTube come from?
When I was
How did
13
YouTube become so
when I was
easy?
13
Because
years
a
old.
bunch of people worked their butts off 9 to 5, making it a thing.
That's
and
what
if
you
it
did
didn't
in the
exist,
previous
if it didn't exist, you couldn't.
It's the same thing with 9 to 5ers. Whoever made the company that you're working at is getting you your job pretty much. Because if the person didn't work at that company, you're not getting your job. Like if the person didn't make that company, you're not working at that job, are you?
Press play, you can press record,
So the fact that
and
you
then
have
just talk.
The fact that you have a campus to teach on.
Yeah,
true. They had to pay for their
right, but I also had to
academic
spend
candidacy.
years earning my credentials and mastering.
And I did it.
Come on, guys. Your credentials are playing video games. I play video games on my spare time. Come on, guys.
So you just want to get.
Nah, he's just jealous.
You understand?
Vicky, and my perspective is coming from a hair and makeup artist, physical job. Doesn't seem like any of you guys can even compete with the physicality.
Brother.
You guys just
I know how to do a 3-strand braid.
Just sitting on your butt and talking into a microphone
know.
is
So
very different.
So wait.
Very different than having to get up in the morning, carry all of your gear. You've got to carry all of your hair, makeup, all of your supplies. You have to haul it around, get up early in the morning. You stand on your feet all day.
Sometimes
you never
streamers
sit
do
down.
that.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're
Actually,
breathing in
most times.
toxic chemicals
Because
all
streamers always
day.
out.
All right, can I talk?
Hairspray.
Listen, so your whole
So
thing.
it's dangerous.
Listen, bet.
Your
They
job
are
isn't
too
dangerous.
uneducated.
Your job
to
isn't
speak of.
physically
is
taxing. You're just talking into a
So
microphone.
bet, listen. So your whole
She
thing.
doesn't get that.
Your whole thing is we can't do what you do, right?
It's not
No,
physical.
but-
I'm saying that
He's about to say, you can't do what I do. You kid.
a
Go
9 to
ahead.
5
Let me talk for
job
a
where
second.
you physically have to do
So-
some hauling around stuff.
So
and
I physically
you're
can't
just
haul
talking
around
into a microphone.
bags of like makeup. You physically could never trick shot. You could not hit a crane shot. You can't 1080. You can't hold a
Oh my
controller
gosh.
and make a 200K montage.
Talk
You can't.
come on, man.
No one in here.
Come on, man.
None of you could.
But you
none
can
of
carry
you-
some just
None of you
some
could
hair and makeup.
physically
And you have
go
to do that for 12 hours a day.
Yes. Actually,
You
yes.
taking him 4 days to hit a trick shot. It's taking you 4 days to hit a trick shot.
Actually, yes, I would have
Hours
to
a
do
day.
that.
And then your day is
Yes,
never
I
done. When you're
would.
done doing that, is your job done? Do you have to go shopping and replace
No,
all of the things
wait.
that you use?
No. Listen,
You have to
Vicky,
clean
listen,
all of
Vicky.
your gear.
You don't know about dry streaks. You don't know about hit markers.
But when you're done, you're
You
done.
don't know about if the Elgato wasn't on.
When
Can
you're
you
done, you're
imagine
done.
these
Oh
things?
my God, disable resample.
If I rendered my
Get this
thing
guy off this chair, bro. This guy stinks.
Vegas and I sent the editor clips without disabling resample.
Oh my God.
My montage is fucked.
You have
The
to-
main underlying argument here is what you do is physically
Daily, day
more-
to day.
Okay. Your main thing is what you do is physically more taxing and hard than what any of us.
Outplayed.
Oh
Capture
my-
your best gaming
How many
moments.
ads are on
Outplayed
this
automatically
thing?
saves your game's highlights.
He's the best.
I could say the same thing. You cannot physically trick shot. You could never. I would go as far
Okay,
as
so
I don't.
how many hours a day do you trick shot?
I don't think.
How many
any of you
hours
guys
a
ever
day do you trick shot? How many hours?
When I was trick shotting, it was 12 hours a day. It was however long I needed to. However
Every
long I
day, 12
needed
hours
to.
a day
However
trick
long I
shotting?
needed to hit a clip.
12 hours a day, every day.
5 seconds.
And that clip is.
He carries a Barrett 50 cal and he jumps off of stuff.
I would have to get on Call of Duty, turn my sense all the way up to 10-10. I would have to get to last. I would have to pray to God that he would be
Y'all
in the
left
right
and he's not
spot,
trolling.
throw the concussion. Now I gotta have my rotations down.
Dead zones. Talk about the dead zones.
Talk about dead zones.
Stick drift.
Stick drift.
Thing is, for the most part, but that is not all YouTubers that are doing something physical. A lot of it is just talking.
Yeah, but she also said it was dangerous. We could walk around IRL stream and someone could rob us or kill us. I gotta.
Wait.
They're laughing. But that's happened recently. I've gotten
It's the same with 9 to 5s. Yes, it's the same with 9 to 5s. You can get killed on the job, right? But I feel like you're at more risk when you're a streamer because you're famous and people know you. You know, like random people know you. Random strangers know you.
Crackhead ran up to him on stream and almost
died.
Almost
Because he
decapitated
quoted
him
his
when he
thoughts.
But sometimes you don't want security walking around with you all the time. I mean, you know? Like, sometimes you just want it to be you and your friends. Like, that's what people, streamers have said that too. Like, they don't want streamers, not streamers, security walking around with them 24/7. And they're afraid of people on the streets trying to kill them.
My name is Thelma. Pleasure to meet you, sir. I am very occupational. My last job, I worked as
But
a
wouldn't that make it harder
librarian
though?
with elementary school
Because you're
children.
taking that risk. Like,
I have been.
you literally can't have the fun that you want to because you have your security 24/7. You're anxious all the time. And when you don't go out with your security, then it's like, yeah, you're taking a risk, but it makes it harder. No.
An executive secretary, legal.
Very quiet, peaceful.
Yes, yes, all that. You know, because it's who you are. That you know, we create social media all the time because that's what we are. We're 9-to-5ers, and we interact and have energy with people. Where I don't think that you guys have that.
We have
Are you serious?
You have false energy because you're across the screen. You're not interacting with people like we do.
So what are we doing right now?
Interacting?
What are we doing right now?
You're doing it now because we're doing a video.
So wait, isn't she debating for us? That's making it harder for us.
Do you know that there's millions of people?
Now I'm not gonna have all y'all gang up on me.
There's millions of people who watch the video.
Yes.
Who save lives every day, probably more than doctors.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes. There's people that literally stay alive because they want to watch our videos.
You know about going out to the clubs at night, staying out till 10 o'clock in the morning, trying to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning so you get dressed.
So you was having fun.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so.
So what I'm saying is like you guys don't do the interaction. You don't touch people like this.
Okay, now.
What kind of shit's going on?
Okay. Go to the club. You get to put some shades on, and you go by your day.
Yeah, being a nurse is harder than
that because we have thousands of people.
Like I think there's like
you're
4 nurses.
You're high. You're hungover. Just get off screen. We don't want to see you like this.
But is that your choice?
We don't like you like this. Why are you doing this?
But is that your choice? You chose that. You chose this life.
That's the thing. We can't.
And that's what's happening now. That's what's happening now with the whole world. It's a total disconnect. When you have a 9-to-5, you're dealing with people. You touching people's hearts, souls, minds.
Okay, I think this entire argument is really bad because they think so. Like the 9-to-5 workers think all 9-to-5 is equal. Like all 9-to-5 jobs are the same amount of difficulty, and they are degrading streaming. You know, like every 9-to-5 job isn't as hard as the next. You know, like a nurse is up here, but someone that works at Subway is all the way down here. It's not that hard, you know. Like with streaming, they're in that 9-to-5 sort of area. So some 9-to-5s, yes, are easier than streaming, but some are also harder. You know, like streaming is probably like dead in the middle. Like there are a whole bunch of jobs that are harder than streaming, but there are a lot of jobs that are not harder than streaming. You know.
Oh, you are not.
Do you know how many fans we meet a day?
I think, look, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, and I respect what you do.
Do you watch any entertainment?
Oh my God.
Of course I watch
So
entertainment. I got kids. I got grandkids.
Do you ever laugh?
Of course I laugh.
So then they interact.
We're touching them.
But the interaction is not real.
Did it make you feel better?
When I'm watching
Wait, did it make you feel better?
What make me feel
Have you
better?
ever
It all
watched-
depends on
Have you ever been entertained? Have you ever been entertained and been like, oh, I feel.
I feel like everyone's opinion in this room is different depending on the job that they have. So all the nurses, they have the free right to have the confidence that their job is harder than streaming. They can have that confidence because in reality it is. But some of the other people that work at lower jobs, it's like they can't say that because streaming is definitely harder. Like they would know that.
Some of it is fake. Some of it is fake.
You see, you're not answering.
So now let me.
Okay, well let me answer because I'm debating him.
Okay, yeah.
But go ahead.
Right after this, I got you. Right
Okay,
now.
all right.
Yeah.
So when you're entertained,
Well, of course you get paid. Like for working an easier job, you get paid less because it's easier. Like with streaming, it's harder. I feel like it's like middle upper to harder, like 9-to-5 job kind of thing. Like of course you're gonna get paid less because you're doing less, pretty much. You know.
You ever felt like your day was
And
better?
yes, it's like for like people that work at like fast food places, it's way less, like way less than a streamer does. But I feel like it's just because the job is like way easier, you know.
If you watch something, you never felt like that?
Yeah, sure.
So what's the difference with us?
I don't think it's definitely harder. Streaming is definitely harder than an easy job.
Love games,
like
grind.
I would say
With
like an
Neymar,
easy job
you
is
can be invincible,
really low, and a
unimaginably
9-to-5.
wealthy,
I mean, not a 9-to-5.
or even
Streaming
teleport.
is really high.
Oh, you do.
Yeah.
You know, you just like wait a minute. Somebody made a comment about, oh, I can't even go out with my girlfriend, or I can't even go out in public.
That's right.
I can go out in public and be seen.
So it's
You know what?
easier.
I'm a very social person. I'm very popular in where I do and where I am. I do social media.
I'm saying what we do has not affected people. It's not real. how come when I go out in public and I meet someone and they're like, oh my God, wait, I loved your videos growing up. You were my childhood. I used to watch you every single day.
Their hands shaking.
Like, you were my child. You know how like we grew up watching Disney Channel?
Yep.
I've had kids
Ben
come
10.
up hundreds of times throughout years of my life, have kids come up to me and say these things. So.
I'm Robbie. I'm a server at an Italian restaurant.
Come on, bro. Life's easy.
Oh, that's not fair.
He has the same menu, makes the same food every day.
First thing I'm gonna say is nobody's gonna say being a nurse isn't hard, because my aunt was. That is the most difficult.
I feel like
how are you gonna disrespect your mom?
I think the average streamer doesn't make as much as a nurse. I mean, the people in this room, they probably make more than a nurse, but the average streamer doesn't make more than a nurse.
Oh, she is right now.
You're gonna disrespect your mom and say that your work is harder? That is so rude, honestly.
She works 2 of them.
Okay,
she works at 2 hospitals.
Let me ask you something. No disrespect, but what you do, I'm not your target audience. So break it down for me, because I don't even get it.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you something.
You just said I'm not your target audience because I'm black.
But it's alright.
You don't watch me because I'm black. And this is what I'm talking about. It's harder.
He has to get judged every
I gotta get.
Skip the line and get right to your destination. That's why you go with Hertz.
What if you can create your own website by saying, this is what I want?
My bro.
With Wix, you can't.
Judge every day. Everybody thinks I'm a hoodlum. I'm a nice guy.
He's a jolly dude.
I can't get a job because I got tats. I used to work at Costco.
Like
I had the greatest 401k granted to me. That means that when I retire, I get the biggest stipend of my life. Do you know I could just sit there and just meat pack all day just to really realize that, what, maybe 20 years I'm gonna be sitting on millions because I worked at Costco's?
Yeah, Will.
Okay.
I didn't have to interact with nobody, just packing meat.
Yeah, Will.
Come on, bro.
Is what you do fun?
I mean,
do you enjoy what you do?
If I make it fun.
Do you make it fun?
I could make it fun.
Yes or no? Is what you do fun?
Not everything's fun.
What isn't fun? Break it down for me. What do you do in a day? We'll swap stories. What do you do in a day?
Okay, so it's very stressful, right?
Very stressful.
Not fun at all. Because this dude was talking for 20 minutes about playing video games.
Whoa. It sounds like you're jealous, I'm not gonna lie. But
You're on his diesel.
okay, so look, right?
So I'm jealous of a harder job.
No.
Oh!
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah,
Hey, that was sarcasm. You didn't read it. No, I'd like to.
No. Listen to the time that I wake up. I wake up maybe 3, 4 p.m. Know what I'm saying? I'm already drowsy because I just smoked the night before. You know why I gotta smoke? Because I just deal with thousands of people. I don't even like people. I gotta deal with thousands of them. No, let him stay. You gonna stay for this, right?
Wait, but you still haven't described what you've done other than smoking pot and waking up at 4.
Okay, waking up at 4 p.m., right? Now wake up, I gotta brush my teeth, right? Gotta make sure, cause I got a lot of comments. Now, you know, he don't brush his grills. What does his real teeth look like? I gotta make sure that my yeah.
He's got Chanel earrings like a bad bitch.
And there's girls in his chat too sometimes. So
Yeah.
you know.
You know what I'm saying?
See him.
I gotta make sure I'm freshly saving. I'm not saving for this video. I already know what's gonna happen. It's about to be negative comments. Yo, shave that little scruffy shit on your face. Cool.
So he got fat.
Now I have to game Marvel Rivals, but probably 1 to 2 hours before stream. You know why? Because I don't get to game it for after work. Like I can just game it after work, bro. I can't. You know what I'm saying? You can't just do that, right? After I do that, now I gotta sit here and plan with somebody what I'm gonna do for the stream today. Oh, looks like we got no content. All right, let's see if we can just scrub something around.
No content, no money.
No content, no money. Now look, probably by 8 or 9 p.m. I'm still probably thinking I got.
They're making money off of their old videos.
You know what's crazy?
They can still make money off their old videos. Like as long as they're getting views on their old videos, they're still making money.
Easy. 8, 9 p.m. for him? Oh, I did my work.
He already did my.
I did my work today.
You took the same boss already.
You're going to sleep.
What?
Do I don't want to hog the space here too much, but do you know the expression "give a man enough rope"?
No.
No, I don't know this. I don't know.
Basically, you're talking yourself into a hole, man. Okay, my turn. I'll be brief.
Wait, give a man a rope. Wait,
it means,
is that racist?
Wow.
Get this racist out of here! He has no social cues.
Right.
Oh, you're back?
Babe, I want to say to you.
Rhonda.
I'm your black auntie.
Yeah.
That's what I want to say. You
Black
say
auntie.
you don't like people. It's all about relationships that you got with people. So when you say shit like that, do you really mean that?
Do I not like people?
You said
I'm an introvert. I'd rather be in my own space. I'd rather be by myself.
And that's okay. But what is it that you're doing that's helping other people?
What am I doing?
Yeah.
Saving lives. I'm a superhero.
He's a hero.
I'm a superhero, no cape.
Was Rhonda the nurse? If Rhonda's a nurse, then that's a very valid argument. But like, if you're not a nurse and you're working like a Subway or a McDonald's, you're not saving any lives. Cause you can, if you say, "Oh, but I'm giving them food," that's basically feeding their hunger. So I'm helping them live. They can go eat somewhere else, man. Dang, they can make their own food.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
You look great. You look
That's
great.
right. I'm Thelma again.
I believe 9 to 5 is harder. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. Buzz alright. He just messed up. Jason, you messed up, man.
You think dreaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they...
You just dodged the entire question, first of all. She said if you think it's... Wait, what was the question?
Streaming is so much harder. Why are you doing it?
If you think streaming is so much harder, why are you doing it? He just dodged the entire question. If streaming is so much harder, why you do it? I would say because I love it. Because I love doing it. And just because I love doing something doesn't mean it's not hard. That's what I would say.
I can't have a public relationship because of the public eye and how they judge my relationships. I had a breakup with a girlfriend that I loved so dearly because I chose streaming.
Aren't you dating Sakura?
So my question.
I loved her.
My question.
I loved her, and you're laughing.
My question again. My question. If you think it's so much harder, why are you doing it?
Because I'm passionate about it.
Okay, so you love it. You love streaming. So do you love it more than you love that girlfriend?
That's what I had to decide. I had to make sacrifice. And
So
that's
you-
what you have to
so
do.
you lost
with
the
streaming.
human touch.
But guess what? If I had a 9 to 5,
lost the human
if I
touch
was flipping burgers,
for-
I could have had a girlfriend still.
But you lost the human touch for the streaming.
Being a streamer.
I think the streamers are thinking of a 9 to 5 of like a job, like a fast food job. They're not thinking of like bigger. They need to think bigger.
Judged on thousands of people's opinions every single day. 9 to 5 person, maybe
But
1, 2, 3.
okay, and then back to my point. Is that your choice? Was that your choice?
But that's not the point, though. The
No,
point is
that's my point. That's my point.
streaming
Was
is
it
hard.
your choice to work a 9 to 5?
You gave up your girlfriend for streaming. Come on now.
Shit, he ran up a bag. He
Yeah.
ran up a
I
bag.
ain't gonna lie,
You did
I
it for a bag.
But the thing is,
It's your choice to work a 9 to 5, and especially a 9 to 5 that you want. It's all your choice. Like, if you work at a 9 to 5 that you don't like, then that's your fault. You can go to a 9 to 5 that you like. And yes, sometimes you might not get the job that you want. Like, you might not have like the qualifications and stuff. But like, you can find a temporary job that you like so you can work up to the point where you want to be, you know?
do I pick love and a future with someone I care dearly for? Or do I pick
something that I
future
love?
Something that I'm passionate about?
Yeah. You should always pick something that you're passionate about. Oh my gosh, another ad.
I can't swear at a man. Probably not. This is sick.
About emotion. I pick motion.
I'm Lala Costa.
Lala Costa? Yes. Amazing name.
I'm an attorney.
She makes a percent off people's fuck ups. I like that.
If you had an opportunity to get a 9 to 5 that you could create yourself, like whatever you want,
Yes,
9
I
to
would.
5, you would take it?
Yes.
Because why?
Because I don't even enjoy streaming
You don't? What? Come to this side.
anymore. No, but I have to because this is what I built my career off of. I started.
You feel stuck.
I feel stuck, yeah.
Have you ever watched a show and you stopped watching it?
Mm.
Have you ever watched a show and you were like,
All the time.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I have to.
That
I
TV
have to-
show can't. It's done. What happens to all those actors?
It's
after that?
canceled
They gotta
because I
go to-
stopped watching?
Well, no. I'm saying if
Baby, stop.
thousands of you
Honey.
stop watching.
I think you guys are mixing all
Yeah,
the issues.
Cartoon Network. It's like
and
they
not
got millions of
focusing
people.
on-
You guys know what Cartoon Network is?
your
is
followers
gone.
stop, would you come up with a different brand then?
All those people are gone. Yeah, but pivot. That's the point.
This guy's name is Swag. Never listened to me try in my life.
I'm a professional model, but
Okay.
A professional
worked
model.
since I
Okay,
was
this
a
is gonna be
kid.
interesting.
I was a gamer too.
I just think personally, like I agree with Jason that I think streaming does take a certain more stop than a 9 to 5, and I also think everybody in here, right? If you guys all try to be a streamer, right, and then we all try to do what you guys do,
You get L's in your chat.
the probability of everybody here trying to be an attorney is way higher than somebody making streaming.
Yeah, the probability of like getting like a good streaming job to like be a good streamer is actually really low. People think it's so easy, and that's what makes me mad. It's not that easy.
Absolutely, your job is you.
I don't think I'm debating whether streaming is harder than a 9 to 5 because I think it's way easier than every other job. I think it's because the people think streaming is just so easy. Like they think it's such a cakewalk, bro.
lucky because you're a gamer. You got lucky. There's so many people
I
like
was
you
luck
out
talented.
there.
It wasn't
These
pure
days,
luck.
I don't think streaming is luck. I don't think becoming a good streamer is luck. I feel like that's just dedication, man. Like you can have good content and not have any viewers, but if you keep uploading that content every single day, like doing that consistently for your entire life, you're eventually going to get those viewers and followers and stuff. So it's not luck at all. I don't think it's luck.
Influencer, come on.
I think it's luck. I think it's luck when you meet someone that's really famous and you get clout off of them. That's luck.
No, hold on. But specifically what I do, I'm not posting selfies around the world. It's basically all pure talent.
Wait,
okay.
Can I just why is he lucky? Why do we all get lucky though?
What is your talent?
Yeah.
Call of Duty. I was a professional Call of Duty player, like actual like.
So you were sitting at home and you're thinking, what am I going to do with my life while you were gaming? You're like, oh, let's put a
I
camera.
was 16, so it wasn't really like that.
You weren't really thinking of what should I do with my life? Like, what should I study? What should I like? Where does my life go?
Ooh, that's not true. I want to be a streamer, and I've always been thinking what I want to do in life. Like I've always been like, do I want to stream? Ooh, do I want to play video games for the rest of my life? Or do I want to go get a job? Or do I want to go out? Like we're always constantly thinking about that. We're not just sitting on the video game doing nothing.
You ever have a clip you just want to share with your friends? You can't go back in the game and the replay's gone forever. Outplayed has one step.
Life, like what should I study? What should I like? Where does my life go? You just got lucky.
It's not luck. It's just he's determined. He knows that's the only route.
He didn't get lucky. He put in hours.
Yeah, no.
That's what we do too. We go to school,
It wasn't
we
luck.
study.
Okay, if that's what you guys do too, so isn't everything luck? You said that's what we do too, so it's not luck.
But the luck, I think people who don't have a job, they feel they want to get lucky by getting a job. So I think people even having a job is some sort of luck.
He said, how many people of us could do this? No, it's luck. It's 1 of a million because for whatever
How is
reason.
that luck? If 1 out of a million, that one has to be the best.
Mm-hmm.
So how are you going to dismiss
Is
all
he
his
the
hard
best?
work and all of his
Is he the
talent?
best?
I got four. I got four.
No.
Last year. No. Let me give my statistics. There was over 300,000 people that played Warzone last year. This is the game that I play.
Okay.
I got 4th. So I was a top 12 player across the entire world.
And you're telling him
so that's not luck. That's
like
pure.
less than
That's
1%.
pure skill.
So you're dismissing, is Michael Jordan lucky? Is LeBron James lucky?
Yes.
Are they lucky?
I mean,
no,
they have a talent. They have a talent.
They had a
but
team. So what
you know how many talented people out there and don't get the chance, they don't get the shot at it?
I don't want to take up his time. So
Wait a minute. Why is she talking about lucky? She's a model, right? She's a professional model, and you're talking about lucky. You have to be lucky to get those genetics to be a model. Don't you? Like, being a model, you have to have the right body, you have to have the right facial structure, you have to have the right everything, bro. Oh, you like my FNAF vids? Thank you, bro. I'm reacting to a video right now for another YouTube video. But like with the model, you have to be like, yeah, you have to have the genetics. Like if you don't have the genetics, like the good facial structure, the good hair, the good body type, like you're not gonna be a model. So you're talking about lucky, but isn't what everything you do based off of luck? Just saying.
He's not talented?
No, that's not what I'm saying. Not
That's
at
what
all.
you just said.
You just said
What he did
I
to get
said
to where
a
he
lot
is.
of people are talented don't get the shot to do what he does.
Or people who
So
make it
it's
to the
luck.
NBA.
But I didn't even get a shot. It was, well, I did it off the strength of me. You know, there was no one who gave me a shot or anything like that. I simply was, you dead ass?
Yo, you being serious?
Why you laughing?
Oh, you subscribed to me when I made part 3? That's tough. Thank you, bro. Thank you for the support. I've been trying to be more consistent, like, cause like my videos aren't very consistent right now, but I've been posting consistently recently, so thank you for the support, bro.
It's not luck. I've been doing this for 13 years. I uploaded 3,000 videos. 2,000 was I edited myself while I went to college, worked a job, and still went to school.
And yeah,
So that's not. I mean, if that's fucking, if that's luck,
where's the luck at in that equation?
Again.
is there a percentage? We are all lucky in some way, right? If we all have a job, we're lucky in some sort of way. But
God bless.
off of specific pure talent. And I worked on that since I was 16.
Again, I work with many talented people. I'm not saying about you. I'm
Yeah.
just talking in general. And there's so many people that are very talented, never get a shot because they don't do the right thing. They don't go the right path. They don't meet the right people. So there are so many even talented actors here. They never get a shot. So I'm just saying it's pure luck.
It wasn't luck. I just saw an opportunity and just genuinely took it. It wasn't a handout. It was simply just, you know what, I'm talented at Call of Duty. This is what I want to do. It took me 8 years to make it a career. Is there something funny?
It's a freaking video game.
It's a talent.
You can't do it though. You can't. Can you? You can't do it. If you were able to do it, you would already done it already.
Mission a dick ride? Hey, he's made tens of millions of dollars playing video games, so.
Exactly, that's that privilege. That's that privilege.
But I'm saying though, you couldn't hop on a game and do what I do.
You couldn't do
That's
it.
a skill.
Your son couldn't do it. Your grandkids couldn't do it.
Some people
Your
can't.
son's grandkids could never do it. They could never do it.
Anything that takes a talent.
The genes are done. They can't do it. They can't.
How many hours a day did you spend?
When I was younger?
Yeah, when you were younger.
Oh, I would wake up 3 hours before school. So I wake up at 4 a.m. and I would play before school. Bus would come at 7. I go to home, come back, and do it again. I was 16. What's funny?
See, there's a disconnect here because to you guys, when you guys were growing up, yes, it was just video games, it was whatever. But when we were coming up, we're like, wait, maybe we can make this career. Maybe if we get good enough at it and we create.
Do you not
good
think?
enough
Do you not
content,
think if you're talented at something, it's a God-given gift?
Video games is not like.
You don't think? You
Yo,
don't
that's
think
crazy.
it's talent.
You're just too old to understand.
Some video games require genetics, bro. God-given gifts. Like it's, yes, everything. Like what he said, everything is a little bit of luck. But some things, like yes, that would like him becoming one of the best Call of Duty players or Warzone players ever. It's a little bit of luck, but most of that is skill. It's luck, then there's skill. Like it's different.
It's just, I can't argue that because
Y'all could never
I gotta
play
keep it a-
FNCS either. It's
I
the
gotta
same
keep it a
shit.
buck. There's a disconnect.
Same
You come
shit.
from
Hey, Ron better flex the FNCS window.
a generation where this didn't exist. This career, you looked at this career and you laughed. Now, how come in colleges they're teaching courses on content creation and esports?
Oh.
When you grow up, this didn't exist. So no wonder you're gonna laugh when you hear this shit because you're from a completely different generation. You just don't get it, and I don't know if you ever will be able to wrap your head around it.
Oh my!
it's fun.
Oh, he said you don't get it, and I don't know if you'll ever be able to wrap your head around it. That's crazy. That's a crazy
Oh, you
thing
gotta
to say
fight
to
back.
an adult.
You gotta fight back. I'm not gonna lie.
That's wild.
I'm Ronnie.
Ronnie, nice
What's
This
up?
past-
My name's Ronnie.
Oh my! This better be the last ad, though. There's not even that much left.
We're talking about job security. Are you familiar with layoffs, with being furloughed? Like taking
We
it back
fall
to.
off.
That's being what? What does that even mean?
You lose everything. Every dollar. Everything. You lose everything.
Okay, and then you can rebuild yourself back. You
The same way
reinvent.
you can do if you get laid off. You get a
Yeah,
new
that's
job.
it's
Oh,
it's kind
okay.
of it's not the same concept. Like
I don't know. Back in 2020, when everybody was getting furloughed, everybody was like, "Oh, let me go to social media. That's kind of an easy alternative." So that seems kind of easy.
I know,
And
but
then-
if you lose a job, you can't.
just get another
No,
one?
you can search for. You have an opportunity to search for another one. No?
Okay, I've been searching for another one for 10 months. I interview every day, give the same spiel, have to give that smile of walking through my resume.
I uploaded videos for 7 years and barely got any views.
And did you you uploaded 7 videos and didn't get any views
went to school, and still.
and paid rent?
Yes, I still worked. I worked.
Oh, so that you had another job?
As a parking attendant, yes.
Okay, and was that harder?
No, I was on my phone all the time.
Oh, as a parking attendant, that doesn't sound like you were doing a very good job.
I was chilling.
You were chilling. You weren't good at your
He's
job.
waiting for.
Yeah, when cars park, they're done. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
I don't have to.
Well,
I'm not security.
That's
I just
a
go.
1 9
I go like
to
this. I
5.
go like this. Yo, right there. I bet. I think an aspect of a video game, playing video games, is a talent.
I would say it's a skill. I wouldn't call it a talent. You can master it with,
Ooh,
sorry.
But people
my next,
millions play video games, but there are very few people who are genuinely gifted at it.
True.
Gifted? What are they, Mozart?
How is it not a talent?
There are people
Why is
that
it
are
not
gifted.
a talent what he does?
You know what? I'm open to it being a talent. I think it's a skill. I think it's something you can master. I don't think you're a Mozart, that you have this gift of like, whoa, when I put my thumb here and this thumb there and do this combo, I do this
You'd be
flip.
surprised. I mean, there's people out there who are genuinely
That they have their opposable
the
thumbs
most
like
gifted-
so good.
That's like saying, here's a paintbrush, go paint me Picasso. Yeah, that's
Like, because there are like #1 people at game. Like there is, like when you think of a pro at Fortnite, you'll think one of the best players. Like you'll think Clicks, you'll think Booga, you'll think Peterbot. Like you'll think all these people for like Fortnite, right? It's not just luck. Because if it was luck, bro, Clicks would not be one of the best. Booga would not be one of the best. Peterbot would not be one of the best. It'd be equal. You can't just get on a game and be the best.
Or if there's certain games that have $1 million prize pools, if there's a skill you could just learn and you're looking for a job for 10 months, go pick up a controller and go hop in this $1 million tournament and win it.
You
And win it.
could.
That's crazy.
You couldn't.
She said perhaps. That's
You
crazy.
What do you mean I wouldn't
You can't even
qualify?
find your OBS stream key. Stop playing.
That's alright.
I need to work for it,
I know.
but
So like, but you're dismissing what he does. You're just dismissing.
I'm
Like,
not
oh,
dismissing. I'm saying
it's
that's
not a
easy.
skill. It's not a talent.
I
Like,
said it's a skill.
easy.
I didn't say it's a talent. I said it's a skill. It's a skill that
But
you can own. and
how do you
can
know?
master.
How do you know if it's easy if you haven't done it? Like if you
I
don't.
played Mario Kart. I've played other games.
Not a professional level though.
No, not a professional level because that's not what I'm trying to pursue.
Okay.
I know, so but you don't understand what it takes to be on that sort of level. So how can you try to dismiss it and say it's
True.
it's yours is harder?
What
how
is-
do you know?
what
how
does
do
it
you
take
know?
to be on that
Because
level?
I've worked at 9 to 5.
Yeah. What
so
does it take to be on that level?
Just gift, and you got to play all
Just
the time.
gift?
Tens of thousands of hours of work
Uh-huh.
and editing and filming and constantly
I'm just
having
talking
to
about pure
innovate and
skill. As far as like the
reinvent
videos and stuff like that, just off pure skill.
I had
you
to
did-
put tens of thousands of hours
Could you get a
into my
refresh second
studies.
zone, Tarping? Could you?
I have no idea what you said.
Could you get a refresh going into second zone with no mats? Can you
No,
get a
Ron
refresh
could,
with the best
though.
players? You
I
couldn't.
can also put. I can circle back and give
Do
you,
you know how to
different
short
terms
launch pad?
from
When
my
you're trying to get to third
industries.
zone, third moving. Do you know
I
how to
don't know
short?
what-
Yeah,
no,
for-
I
for
don't.
Ron
But
does.
if I
Exactly, you
want,
couldn't, but Excel sheet, we could do Excel sheet.
no, but exactly. I
They're
can
just talking. They're just talking game.
These
and stuff.
refreshes
As a
don't come to
babysitter,
you.
I can talk to you about the different things I do and ask you, could you do that? No, but if you wanted to, you would.
If us four
Put on
took,
race.
took 3 days, you don't think we can master an Excel sheet?
Oh,
But let me give you. If I give you 3 days about a video game, do you think you could be that talented as me?
if I wanted to, I would.
Cap.
So let's give you,
Cap.
let's
Cap.
pay for her whatever it is.
Pay,
Give you 3
please.
days, but if you lose, you got to give us it back in double.
No.
Because you know you can't do it.
That works. You pay me, I'll get the job done.
I would say, in a sense, yes, because you have to put in the work and you got to be on 24/7.
It's difficult
Okay.
to answer that question for us, I think, because
agree. It's
we
very
didn't
difficult
come
to
up
answer.
in this time frame, in this era. So, and
That's
and
true as well.
technology is totally different now, because we were just talking about playing tic-tac-toe on the sidewalk with chalk. I appreciate and respect what they do, and I think that's the consensus for most of us, that we appreciate and respect where they are. But it's not, what we did was, we just feel like what we did was harder. And that's what I think. So.
My mind was changed in the sense that now I'm even more convinced that normal
That's
jobs
wild.
are better.
That's wild. Alright, my honest opinion about the video is I think it just depends on the 9 to 5 job. Like if you're working like a really, really hard 9 to 5, yes, it's harder than streaming. And yes, streamers do make a large amount of money for it being a little easier. Like nurses, I feel like it's way harder than streaming. But at the same time, streamers are making more money even though it's easier. So I think it depends on the 9 to 5 you're working at. So I'm not really on either side. So if you were to give me like 9 to 5 examples, if you were to give me an example of a 9 to 5, I would be able to tell you if it's harder than streaming or easier than streaming. And then I can make an argument like that. But there's no clear answer to it.